Hey, yo. Hey, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video. Your boy is freshly trimmed. The beard was getting a little too long. I grab it and pull it, so I needed to trim it down. And so you can see I'm wearing Tampa Bay hat. Patriots is still my favorite team, but Tom Brady's my favorite player, so gotta represent. Do another quick video. I'm actually supposed to be picking up dinner, or at least ingredients for dinner, at Stop and Shop right now, but I figure I squeeze this in because I haven't done a video really this week. Seeing today is Monday. It is Monday, yes, because it was chest day today. See, that's how I can tell what day of the week it is what body part I worked at the gym at. But yeah, today I want to talk about the DC omniverse stuff. But before I get into that, quick stuff as always. I'm going to do this format of video just for the time being until I figure out how I'm going to work that computer with my kid doing school. Usually we do it over my in-laws' house, but they're actually on vacation now, so the computer's at our house. So I just got to requiesce it back. But as always, I've been plugging this for quite a bit. My friend Connor and I from OK Fave have been doing a new podcast. The World of Fandom podcast. The link is down below. We just did our 7th episode. I think it was the 7th one, in which we talked about Harry Potter. We talked about Star Wars before that, Power Rangers before that, Beast Wars before that. We talk about a different subject every single time, and we just geek out on it. Fun, entertaining, and this is with probably outside my family, the man I've known longest in my life. He's a childhood friend. So it's really fun stuff. So check that out. And I will be posting a video to Patreon soon. With that said, let's talk about this DC Omniverse shit that's going on. Told you it would be a quick intro, and there's going to be a quick video. Apparently, DC is going to be introducing its Omniverse rather than just a multiverse. And this is going to be introduced after Dark Knight's Metal, after the whole, what's it called, future state bullshit that they're doing. And the basic concept of this omniverse is it's supposed to be basically everything counts, continuity is very loosey-goosey. Which can, on paper, be a good thing, but what does that mean? Continuity is loosey-goosey, everything counts? Andrew, I'm super confused. To be honest, I'm a little confused myself. But let's see if we can answer that question, shall we? See, the thing about continuity is it's a fickle thing. It's a powerful tool for any story. And in that, continuity itself is not a problem. It's actually a really good thing to have. But the big problem comes from the fact is what stories are being told via continuity. For example, let me give you an example. DC Comics has characters that are relatively the same age. They don't age that much. Maybe they age 5-10 years, right? Bruce Wayne has always been between the ages of 32 and 45 in the mainstream continuity. So characters don't age. They constantly go through multiple different generations, multiple different decades, and they're still the same. And we're telling these stories, and we're telling hundreds of stories in the span of 10 years that's supposed to be compressed in a couple months. And not just that, there's so many stories that happen with so many different characters, you have to reboot and you have to retcon to keep everything clean. It's just because there's so much content that goes on. As opposed to something like Star Trek, which has alpha memory and beta memory. Alpha memory is everything that's canon, beta memory is everything that's not canon. But with Star Trek, it's anything that's on television is counted as canon. And it's not one character who's constantly going through these different evolutions. It's not like a Doctor Who character. It is, the original series cast, the TNG cast, the DS9 cast, the Voyager cast. Yes, there's continuity. Commander Riker has been on almost every series. He pops in from time to time. Picard has been on TNG, DS9, and now he's on Picard, and he's a different age on each one. Now he's a really old man. Much older than he actually is in real life. But the thing is it's easier to do continuity on something like a television show because you only have a finite time with those actors. They have to age, they have to get older, and thus the stories have to progress accordingly. With comic books, you don't have that opportunity because you're constantly saying Peter Parker is between ages 20 and 25. I'm just spitballing. I think he's really in the 30s at this point. And the universe is always like 15 years old from when the first appearance of the Fantastic Four or Superman happened to be. So the reason why I point this out with continuity is because DC's continuity has been a relative mess since Rebirth, really. New 52 tried to clean it up, and it kind of did, for ill or for good. Got rid of the stuff that we liked about continuity in favor for a leaner, more understandable continuity. And in that it succeeded, but Rebirth brought all that stuff back that we liked, which is good, but they didn't actually reboot anything. So in doing that, it's like taking an apple and a tomato and saying that they're both the same thing and meshing them together. So the problem is DC's basically trying to fit its old continuity with its established continuity, and they just don't want to reboot again because another reboot would just piss off more fans. So if you're not going to reboot and start things fresh, and you want to bring back all the old stuff, how do you consolidate everything? Well, we'll do an omniverse where everything counts, and in addition to that, everything does not have to matter, right? This could be beneficial because you can do stories like The Three Jokers, and it can be canon if a writer wants to do it later, like if they want to reference it later, or it can just be a one-off story. This could also be useful for the sake of like Batman's own separate like stories. They can just be told, and Batman could be paralyzed after Bane takes him out and still be perfectly healthy fighting with the Justice League. It doesn't have to match up. Everything counts. The stories can contradict each other. But the big problem with this is that, honestly, it's going to make things more of a mess. And you don't want to make things more of a mess. The more mess you make the universe, the harder, I think, honestly, it'll be harder for fans to come in. Maybe 20 years ago, continuity could have been a perplexing and scary thing for fans, that you didn't want to overwhelm them with continuity, but I think it's quite the opposite. People right now thrive off of lore, off the mythos, off of the history of characters. That's why Star Wars is floundering, because they got rid of the legend stuff, and people want that stuff. Like, I think people actually go in wanting to consume as much of a specific media as they can. So if they come into Batman and they find out, well, this stuff is kind of canon, but it's not canon, and what's the point of reading it if it's not canon, right? So I think honestly DC is just going to use this as an excuse not to have to take accountability for its continuity, which if they do that, honestly, it might be for the better, because then they don't have to fucking worry. But I think on a whole, this is kind of a dangerous game to play. I should be hired by DC Comics and fix their continuity. It would be fantastic. I'm telling you guys. I'm going to do my Trump impression, right? Whether you like Trump or you don't, I'm doing my Trump impression. It'd be fantastic. I've seen a lot of timelines. I've seen a lot of continuities, good continuities, but not as good as mine. I would have a 5-star continuity. But seriously, I could fix the DC universe. Like every other fan says they could. I could. So yeah, that's my quick rant. I should probably get my mask because I need to go get pasta and meatballs and a bunch of shit. But yeah, I'll have another video up next week. I'm going to have a video up on Patreon soon. And yeah, follow me on Instagram. Follow me at Twitter, both hashtag or at Andrew Cutter or Andrew Cutter Inc. I'm on TikTok too, but it's primarily Dungeon Dragon shit. But if you like that, go on there. And World of Fandom Podcast, check it out, people. Hit it up. Let's get things going. The more viewers, the more interactions, the more fun it is. So this is Andrew saying peace out for now.